Hello and welcome. This is your GM in the Great Barrier, broadcasting from the center of your entertainment galaxy. We are starting up with a new adventure in Star Trek Adventures Aegis. This one is going to be called Immersion. And for that, we are going to we're going to, I think, just jump in. And now this is the moment that the GM strains to remember if he did anything in terms of a bit of log preparation or whether everything else just consumed his brain. Did I? I don't know. Did I wind up shooting you something, Craig?
You did, yes.
Okay, I
Yeah,
did.
last night, yeah, you did.
Yes, I'm.
I've got something to prepare you want, yeah.
Okay, very good. I'm sorry. The GM has been a busy one, and it's been a rough time. Anyway, by all means, take it away, Lieutenant.
Personal log, Lieutenant Eula Shearer, First Moon Fessoan Lorveln, Year 463. I think the human date is 12th of September, 2154. 3 damn weeks and I've not heard a word. I'm relying on rumours from the Human News Service to get any idea of what's going on in the war. Suspect Starfleet knows more. Maybe even the captain does, but no one's telling me anything. Then I find out the Aegis is being posted to the far side of human space. Maybe to foster relations with the Tellarites, but I notice that this is a long way from where we could possibly run in with any Vulcan ships. I guess Starfleet wants to keep the only Earth vessel with an Andorian on board away from any possible fight with those pointy-eared bastards. What little I found out about the war is bad. Battles almost exclusively taking place in our space, at Waitan, the Relevia, Zarat, and even closing in on the fortress world of Indirax. Perhaps a dozen cruisers lost. I hope neither of the Kamaria or the Epanet are amongst them. 3 weeks with no communication from command, or friends, or family. I'm not getting enough sleep, and if this continues, it'll start affecting how I perform my duties. Out here, I'm already no use to the Imperial Guard, and at this rate, I'm not going to be much use to the crew of the Aegis either. End log.
All right. And it is at this particular point that we join the starship Aegis, presently just out on patrol. It has been just, I think, a little over a week since you had left Earth after what had been successful news from the last mission you were on, or that it seemed that your efforts to explain the chemocyte situation to the Tellarites seems to have abated any risk of conflict, and that in the immediate follow-up, the Enterprise had gone from apparently rescuing Archer on Vulcan um, and made it off to Tellar Prime, where first peaceful contact has been made. The Tellarites and the United Earth now are there at least in the process of establishing diplomatic relations. A lot is still uncertain on that front, and more full picture of how exactly things happened, what the sequence of events was whilst you were conducting your own little chase back during the major plot arc. That all remains to be uncovered later. Um, but for now, what is relevant to you is that you've received at least a bit of commendation for your efforts, and Starfleet apparently has decided that it is better for you to be out on patrol in this section for whatever reasons they may have, and there could be a great many factors, but they have you back out in the field on patrol. Not exactly pushing any new frontiers or boundaries, but nonetheless a pair of eyes out in the dark. And with little among the normal activities that you might have as an exploratory vessel to do, or nothing too rigorous, there is plenty of time for each of you to find ways to try to keep yourselves engaged or active. I think that among at least some of the crew, for some it's taken more to physical activity, be they semi like semi-regular soccer games scheduled in the ship's cargo bays, strategically moved around and organized by Lieutenant Commander Romanov, or perhaps just runs around the mid decks of the Aegis. Less organized, but more that have just taken shape. Probably because some have seen the ship's executive officer and science officer, Lieutenant Commander Patel, going for jogs at different points a day. Um, but let's get an idea of how things are going on a particular quiet day here before anything else intrudes. And I'm actually, rather than going through rank order, I'm going to ask everybody who wants to say something about what their character is doing. Give me a single D20 roll, and we will just play on the house rule, the basis of narrative initiative, where because Star Trek Adventures favors a lower roll, the person with the lowest roll will go first. Okay, we have 2, 16, 12. Sharp and Romanov tie here. So let's see here.
Roll
I'll
off.
yes. I'll ask for one final roll off between the engineer and the captain. I would ask the doctor, but I understand he may still be busy sorting some food real quick. So by all means, continue that. But we'll. All right, Romanov pulls a 12. Sharp pulls the 5. So we defer to captain's prerogative, I guess.
Well, so how long has things been relatively silent?
Just about since you left dock. So
Okay.
for at least the past 8 or 9 days.
From my own captain perspective, and thanks to family connections, how much is this just a out of the way assignment?
Uh, for the moment, it sounds as like there hasn't been much guidance from the service, any of the flag officers in the service yet. You were basically given the job well done and then an assignment. Um, a certain section chief might have given you a if you can keep your nose out of trouble, but don't. But you know, if it comes up, trust your instincts sort of talk. But
Yeah. All right. Um, Probably the first few days, she probably got her job out of the way, but Patel, she'll probably, due to some talk we've already had in the chat, she'll probably give you the notification that you should probably take over for a little bit as she um, just relaxes, as it were. Karen.
copy.
Yep.
So she's probably in her room right now, enjoying a drink and just relaxing, listening to some music, reading a book, just de-stressing.
Copy that. Uh, that doesn't quite sound like grounds for a scene, so I think we'll
No.
go back down to our chief engineer, Romanov, what do you think that you are up to right in this particular moment?
Soccer.
Copy that. Uh,
I'm either
who?
organizing or playing.
Copy that. Well, I actually think I have a cargo bay set somewhere here. Give me just one moment. Let's see. Let's duplicate that. So, let's see. I think I'd forgotten I had this from something else, and then, yeah, let's see here. Oh, I think I would start by asking, whom, if anyone, would you like in on the game?
Well, if I can I know our Runian is in distress, so if I can get her into the game, great, but it is an Earth game, so I don't know how much she'll get into it.
Um,
She's gotten into it before, anything to distract her, It's clear they just wanted to put us out of the way.
Yeah. Shira, would you want to be involved in a little soccer game?
It's a distraction, so absolutely.
Very good. Okay, so then let me just.
I'll let her help me organize things. That'll keep her distracted in between games too. And she's good at organizing stuff. She's a security. Security people have to organize stuff.
Quite right, quite right. Well then, let's get them moved into this proper map here. Stand by just a moment here. Okay, I think let's see, Saral would not be there. Doctor, I'll reserve. So Shira and Romanov. For starters, it's just the two of you. Some officers are still yet to filter in. The bay has mostly been emptied. So far as the engineering report goes, there is minor stress testing or diagnostics on the hull plating that are going on here.
Excellent.
Rather suspiciously, the only cargo containers that remain are arranged in useful patterns in order to denote goalposts or certain out of bounds markers, and maybe even
Yes,
filter tubes.
and you need a certain amount of weight in the cargo bay to run certain kinds of diagnostics. This is all above the board. The paperwork is all filled out.
Yes, yes, of course. Everything is perfectly legal and in order. And the crew are starting to come in. You have Chief Fernier and the navigator. I believe that'd be Ensign Garza coming in. Oh no, Garza's
Garza,
in
my
damage
man.
control.
Damage control, even more important. Garza, the man. The myth.
Chief Justice definitely walking in.
Chief Justice, of course.
Oh,
This is an activation for Chief Justice, who can, I believe, still get a talent, value, or focus.
I think Chief Justice's sheet in general is kind of messed up, so I'm just going to give him a value.
I have not full. I've mostly fixed his, I think.
I think it was never correct to begin with. I think
Oh.
I feel like his disciplines are a little like less than what they actually should be. But
We'll go
we can
back
do
through
it
that.
later.
but Chief Justice is here. That gets a nod from Romanov.
I'm going to give him the value. Competition is key.
A good value there. We'll let you add that at your discretion here. And I will take a look at those disciplines at some point. We'll get that fixed. But yeah, Justice is in, signature aviators, and swagger abound.
It lends credence and viability to this whole event. It's like having the Prince of Wales show up, you know? It is,
Yeah.
we'll adjust the lighting so it's optimal for reflections off of his glasses.
Yeah. Just for
Definitely.
flavor and just for him to be alongside, this will not count for any activation. Deshawn is also going to be there, kind of following Chief Justice around, but standing off to the side just to keep an eye.
Who is Dacian?
Deshawn is he is the alien that was brought aboard. Apparently, he had been. Actually, you remember he was in the one pirate station that you found Visenia in, the captain's second pirate wife. It was a few weeks back.
Right.
He is an alien that has defied all efforts by Mr. Crichton to translate properly. Um, as there's something deeply. The best you could say right now is there's something deeply idiomatic about his language.
And it looks like the Justice has taken him under the wing. Is that about right?
I think their relationship presently extends to he occasionally meets him in the mess in order to sample many a different type of food, which is the one thing that they seem to bond over, fulfilling his basic need.
Yeah, we meet up for like quarter wing night or something. Draft beer night in the mess hall.
Okay.
Ah, the glorious pre-Synth Hall days. But yeah, so the teams are getting organized. I don't suspect we'll actually get into any play here, but the for those among you here, you are welcome to chat a little bit as you are sorting out the pickings. We'll say that for your purposes, there are a few other unnamed crew members, mostly the Starfleet people, but there are a few Makos in the crowd.
Right on.
Yeah.
We try to we try to get everybody to show up.
Yep. So.
Service diversity.
Yep.
So who's playing today? What departments are playing?
Oh, let's take a little roll on that. Stand by. We'll call that. Oh, well, technically a double 5 roll. This would make it would make more sense for that to be. I think that with the officers on hand, you mostly have a bit of the sciences divisions here, but there is enough other officers from different parts of the department to make it where it could be a mixed team, maybe mostly a mostly space or stellar sciences team. Basically, the stellar cartography people up against the biological sciences department.
Is this science on science? That's rad.
Sounds like a grudge match.
It sounds like a grudge match.
Yeah, if you don't keep them working against each other, then they'll take over the whole ship.
What's this? Science?
Okay.
The science? Because Stuart was doing it.
Biological sciences versus stellar sciences.
Oh, yeah. Stewart would come in as replacement just in case. Then gotta defend your side. So
That's right.
fully back up.
Yep.
Okay, we'll get them broken up into teams and out in the field, you know, and she will occasionally throw a little vitriol on it, you know. You didn't hear what stellar sciences said about you biological guys over here, you know. I will throw a little kerosene on the game.
Romanov, I have to ask, please give me a daring and command roll. Difficulty. I'm gonna call this difficulty 1, and just to see how
It
effective
should
you will.
be. I'm up against the sciences. It should definitely be a difficulty one.
Yeah, let's
They're
see
sharp.
how
Here.
much dissension can you sow among the crew.
Okay. I'll explain to stellar sciences that biological sciences said, you're out of your Oort cloud.
Ooh, take an
Oh,
extra die for free for that one, or take a focus, either or.
I'll take a focus. Okay, daring and command, right?
Yep. Who knew?
Okay. Okay. Hopefully the roll is outside the Oort cloud.
Ah.
Oh!
Double 16s. And try clicking on command one more time because it's not reading your discipline there for some reason.
Okay. The new character sheet. The dangers.
Yes.
Warning.
We did have an up.
Ship, your engine OS needs to be updated. Daring command. Here we go. 2 dice with a focus. And here we go.
That's more like it.
Okay.
Yep, that works. Okay. Yep. So with 2
The
successes.
Oort cloud comment maybe brings a little tension between stellar sciences and you know.
Yeah. They give you a look as if to suggest you are being hopelessly cheesy here, but as the taunt kind of reverberates between them and they start making offhanded comments of their own, they start getting themselves a little psyched and even start
Good.
casting glances. You earn yourself 1 momentum. Would you like to be today's designated momentum officer?
Only if I have to.
Anyone else want to volunteer?
sure, I'll take it as usual.
Copy that. So you succeed in getting them psyched out, and dissension is now sowed among the crew. I also take 6 threat because it's the start of the session. Plus, actually,
but there's
2
currently
admin
only 5.
So
Yes,
it's the
but
Oort cloud versus the mitochondrial dreamers.
Okay.
Good God! Stop.
I take 2 more threat. From the leftovers that I had in the...
I just barely had my first cup of coffee, so you know. Just barely woke up.
Yep.
Saturday is my sleep in when I can.
Well, you'll get to next weekend at least.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Which, yes, we just for those catching live, we are off next week. But yes, I'm going to be at the wedding of a very dear friend. Actually, very specifically, my good friend who is not streaming this month at all, Clockwork Crane. In the absence of shouting them out, I'll shout out a friend who is streaming right now. Light Emitting Doe. She's in that same what's its face? Accidental Content House. A good bunch of friends there. Actually, I think I did that wrong. Let's see. Anyway, whilst I do the proper version of the shout out here. What's the thing? Oh yeah. So you begin getting teams together. I think as the organizers here, Romanov, Shira, it would make probably as much sense for you to play or to ref. I will leave that up to you. I'm presupposing at least one of you feels the need to get some of this out with more strenuous activity than playing referee.
Absolutely. Plus the just the beauty of watching sciences go after each other. You know.
So the game will tip off here, and yes, you join the battle. Um, but whilst that game is going on, let's check elsewhere among the ship. Specifically, what is our second in command up to, Lieutenant Commander Patel?
I think, barring anything else, he's, as we mentioned, covering for the captain on the bridge.
Okay, well, this will actually be a good segue then. So let's move everyone up to the bridge, modify the tokens a bit, because I think that, oh no, this actually looks mostly like a reasonable arrangement. I just need to populate a little bit more. Sullivan's on the bridge, Connolly is there, and there'd be somebody at tactical. Um, Sciences is also probably occupied. It's not the usual rotation of stellar sciences people here. They and the biological department, basically the biological sciences took some time. You maybe have somebody who's more routinely in one of the physics labs presently in place. So something about, let's say, a grudge to settle.
Patel understands, and while he doesn't condone the rivalry, he of course is impartial.
Of course.
He is occasionally glancing down at his pad to see what the current score is, and is rooting for his.
There's a little emergency feed too. You can actually watch. There's like a little feed under the score. You have to log in, but with your secret login
on the fire alert cameras or something.
Yep.
Yeah.
My good old Orc Cloud boys.
Meanwhile, Crichton is looking off a secondary display to follow it. Connolly's just staring at the view screen where the game's playing. He's got some popcorn. Oh, man. Those mitochondrial dreamers have been making a great showing this season.
I wouldn't count off the Orc Cloud boys yet.
Oh, we will see, sir. Crichton taps his earpiece. Commander, I think I'm picking up a signal of some sort. Stand by. Yes, sir.
Not from the cargo bay, I take it.
No, it's coming at about 2.1 light years distance. Sir, I think it's an emergency beacon of some sort. Identifying. Yes. Oh dear. It does seem to be a distress signal. The signal reads as, ethanite in origin, sir.
Ethanite, fascinating. Conley, can you please pause the football game?
Yes, sure thing, sir.
Put the signal on speakers.
Ethanite freighter, we are receiving your distress call. This is the starship Aegis. We read you. Please respond. It's a moment of silence. Oh yeah. Hello. Hi. I'm Noth.
Patel smiles.
Hello. Are you of the starship North, or is that are you captain? No, I'm just Noth. Okay.
Mr. North, it's been some time.
Hello.
Hello. No, please, go ahead, Mr. North. You're the one in distress.
Thank you. I'm Noth.
And I'm Commander Patel of the Starship Aegis.
Oh yeah, Space Force. How you doing?
Starfleet, but doing well, Mr. North. What seems to be the problem?
Oh, it's an emergency here. Hey, yes, Cap, over. North, what is it? I've got I've got Space Force on the line. Oh, yes, this is Captain Lamarche of the Bounty Aplenty. Space Fleet, what is it again? It's space. It's Star Force, that's what it is. Star Force, right. Star Force ship, this is Captain Lamarche. What can we do for you today?
Starfleet ship, and we noticed you have an emergency beacon activated.
We don't have an emergency beacon. What are you... North, cut the line for a moment. There is a beat. North, why is the emergency beacon on? Why would you do that? Oh, you said, it's like you said, Cap. If we don't sell off some inventory soon, it's gonna be an emergency. So I turned on the beacon. But do you have any idea what a false distress call would do? There's not a power in the quadrant that doesn't use as an opportunity to bilk you out of credit, out of resource. Why, with the haul of technologies we have, they could impound a good number of that. They could confiscate things. They could even impound the ship. I don't want to be stuck on another Terran world, or frankly any other world, particularly where Starfleet. Yes, that's the one. But where the Starfleet's involved, you're saying it wrong there, Lamarche. I'm pretty sure it's Star Force. Put me back on, please. Hello? Hello, I'm North.
Hello, Narth.
You
This is
didn't
Commander
put
Patel of the Starship Aegis.
you didn't push a button. Oh. You heard all of that, didn't you?
Indeed, we did, Captain.
You're going to be the bane of my existence. Look, Commander.
That's why somebody has North management as a focus.
Yes, I do. Look, Commander, I'm going to take a stab at it and say, there are protocols on this. You probably have mission logs, and this would inevitably make its way there. Would that be an accurate phrasing, or an accurate guess of the situation?
There are protocols for situations like, but there are also there's a certain amount of leeway.
Okay, well, if I could beg perhaps for a little bit of leeway, then if you are not otherwise busy, perhaps I could find some way to make it worth your while. Some interesting deal or potential exploit that, I don't know, something that might help you, I don't know, provide some enjoyment or pleasantry in these perilous times. Something to relax or to think. What's that Centauri phrase? You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours.
That's a well-known Earth phrase that I think the Centauri took over from us.
Oh.
But yes. What did you have in mind, Captain?
Well, my compatriot is not the while not taking. He is right. We do have some rather interesting inventory right now. So if you would like to make a rendezvous, then we would certainly be amenable to showing you some of our wares and perhaps afford you some discount in terms of what we provide.
Out of character, our specific like directives were just to sort of patrol, right? We don't have any specific orders at the moment.
Yeah, you are not being particularly pressed to or you're not needed in the specific bit of empty space that you are in right now, nor is there an expectation of you must be in a certain vicinity to monitor anything in particular. This is kind of a free patrol type setup. you have leeway.
Got it.
Hence the feeling of, we might have just been put off to the side.
Mhm. Well, this sounds like a great chance to potentially meet up with some old colleagues, some old friends, maybe forge some new diplomatic ties and get some new technology or trade happening.
Oh, oh well, that sounds quite lovely. I'll get the friendship beads.
Patel fondly remembers Mr. North.
Well, we shall rendezvous with you soon, and please pass along my regards to Tony. Bounty aplenty out.
Oh, don't know that he knows that we have a new captain. I may have to brief Colonel Sharp on this. Mr. Conley, could you please work together through Mr. Crichton with the Bounty Aplenty to arrange a rendezvous point?
Aye, sir. I'll get a course in right now. Yeah, it's been a little while since we've seen those Lithanite fellas. Probably not since, what, Alpha Centauri?
Yeah, they were very helpful back then.
Well, here's hoping again, I guess. And he and Crichton will start to discuss the proper course corrections. So, with that, is there anything that you would want to do, or that anyone wants to have happen in the intervening time?
If you want to have that scene, Brown.
We can do that. I guess that makes sense. So Patel is going to collaborate or collect what sort of info he has on the Ithanites and their previous contact with the Aegis, and also this little exchange that's just happened with the Bounty Aplenty, and put it all on a pad, and leave Mr. Crichton in command of the con and go down to the captain's quarters.
Oh boy, command pressure. I hate it.
If I can do it, Mr. Crichton, you'll do just fine.
He will simply nod to that and go about his initial command business. So while all that is happening, we'll carry things down here and let's see. Just swap out some tokens, switch to a bridge, rather, not the bridge. The bridge is where we currently are. So let's find a nice set of quarters for the captain. Let's see, that's the listed version. Let's call it okay. Sorry, just getting something visible here. Once again, allow me to express my sincerest gratitude to the folks over at X Astra Santia. X Astra Santia. They are quite impeccable with the renders they do. That there's at least one person pretty consistently working on those. So this will be an apocryphal take on the captain's quarters. I don't know that we've actually established the proper look, but this will do for the moment. So let's go ahead and make that visible here. So, Colonel, down in your quarters, as per everything else, a pretty Spartan setup. All of them are pretty much this way, the same sort of gray deck plating and walls with a very simple bed and sort of very limited arrangement options. Tell us, what's the general sort of layout, or rather, how we have a sense of layout from this, or that's what we'll take with it. But give us a bit more flavor in terms of the decoration, or what you have like adorning the walls, how unkempt the desk is, anything of that sort.
The desk would have an assortment of star charts and books. Though certainly there's already a few auspicious bottles there that are empty or nearly empty. There is the lights are low, in a more of a mood lighting. The air is a little thick, as certainly she has put to work the the air scrubbers the current moment, as she just chills on the one sofa that she has. The audio or the speakers in the room are playing a low recreation cover of some sort of 1940s 1950s sort of blues or jazz, as she's just reading a book. The bed's probably neat for what it is. Most of this room itself is sort of styled in a more Spartan, but like with like a hint of probably, I would say, to some extent, like a more classical Northeast American or English sort of um, aesthetic. Some just in general, this sort of classic feel that she's trying to add. Classic Victorian feel that she's trying to just add just a hint of towards an otherwise deck plated box that this place is.
Copy that.
Does any of that make any sense?
I think that we get enough of a sense here.
Yeah.
Amidst all of this, there is a chime at your door.
There's like a long minute. Yeah.
Doorbell slides open, or the door slides open. Patel's standing there holding a pad, like expectantly, and maybe a little bit of curiosity as he looks through the threshold for the first time.
Yeah, you definitely smell the it's not garbage. It's actually pretty fine quality, but it definitely has the smoke of tobacco or other.
I was going to ask: is it tobacco or is it something else?
I like to think that it's an Orion flavored cigar. So it could have a bit of cannabis in there or whatever the equivalent. It could have tobacco, whatever. It's space tobacco, space weed, space tobacco, whatever.
Patel's a professor. He's smelled it all.
Yeah. It's high quality, though. She doesn't scrimp on this.
He steps in and he does take a sniff, and you could tell that he recognizes the smell, but he doesn't say anything. His face doesn't betray any sort of approval or disapproval. It is what it is.
Kieran, she says, like shakes a whiskey glass that still has a cube of ice. What's up?
Colonel, thought you should be made aware I've ordered a change of course.
No.
He reaches out the pad and hands it to you.
Wait, what's up? She blinks a few times.
He looks at Sharp's face and with a slight hint of realization that he might need to simplify a little bit of what he's about to say. Says, there's an Ithonite freighter that we've had some business with before, and they seem to be keen on establishing contact again, ostensibly for the purposes of trade and cultural exchange.
Ithonites, they're so small.
They are small at that, but quite friendly from what I know, especially this ship. They've helped us out.
Practical puppies. Are they attacking or something? I mean, they don't usually attack.
No, they seem to want to sell us some things, and I thought I would make you aware.
So what's up?
Captain, it seems like we've come across an Ithanite freighter. But I think Patel would start to repeat himself, and then he would get it.
Oh, wait, so you need me then, yeah?
No, just wanted to inform you of what's happening.
But this is you guys haven't met Ethanites before, right? Hang on. She slowly just sets the glass down and starts stumbling to stand up.
Patel reverts to professor mode a little bit, but he's the cool professor. So okay, no, Captain, sit down. It's fine. No worries. We know these Ethanites. They're friendly. They're good. I just thought I would tell you that this is what's happening now.
She like scratches an eye. Okay. What about? Give me some water, Karen.
He'll set down the pad because clearly the captain has not taken it from his hands. I think.
No.
He'll set the pad down like on the mattress, just so they can like walk over to the water dispenser and pull out a glass of water.
She'll take a long swig, shake her head.
While you take the long swig, he takes a deep inhale of the ambient smell in the room.
I mean, it's good quality.
Patel, give me a difficulty one, fitness and medicine.
Is this to resist the contact high?
Yes.
Oh dear. Xenobotany?
I'll let that apply. This is a Japes roll, and you can roll a second d20 there. Well, you meet the test, so you're good. The quality is definitely up to snuff, as it were.
It definitely reminds me of some seminars that I held back in my day.
Yep.
Not as a partaker, but as somebody who was there. I feel like Patel is probably the designated driver quite often.
She takes a long swig, takes a moment to close her eyes, opens them again, rubs the same eye, and she says, have we met them before? Have you met this crew met them before?
Inner monologue, Patel, I have said this before.
Yeah.
Outer monologue, yes, we did meet them before on our very first mission under Captain Barden to Alpha Centauri. And the Ethanites assisted us in making planetfall and achieving our mission.
No, anything we should be concerned about regarding them? Be wary of?
They seemed entrepreneurial and interested in profit and all things, but they did seem to be relatively above the board. And I think this time they are legitimately interested in selling us some things, maybe some information, maybe some technology. Either way.
When are you setting to dock with them?
They're only about 2 light years away, so I anticipate we'll be there within a few hours.
All right. I was hoping at least another day or two until we do something runs into us. But thank you for covering, Patel.
Of course, Captain. And he smiles, and he's still in that caretaker mode. You know, the one that you want to be watching you while you're having a trip.
Yeah,
That kind of a thing.
I'm gonna take a nap, clean myself up, and if I'm not there, can you cover me for a bit more?
What else is a second officer for, Captain?
Just a small smile.
He turns back to the door, and then before he, like, the door opens, but before he steps through, he looks back at you and like points to the ceiling and says, "Charlie Parker, Captain?" To the music.
She like listens and just nods. I think so.
He
You have
nods.
good ear,
Yeah.
good taste.
It's a hobby.
I'll see you in a few hours, Karen.
He just nods and walks out.
Sharp just sort of relaxes back in the chair for a moment, reclines her head. It's always embarrassing. All right, Sharp, time to get up. She just gets up, 2 steps, flops onto the bed. Or sleep. Sleep's good. Get some sleep. That's it.
Copy that. So, while all of that's going on, let's check in with one more crew member. Very specifically, let's give this. Let's check in with Dr. Lambeth in particular. Where would you be on the? What would you? What do you think that you would be up to right now?
I think he's probably. Yeah, I'm not sure, because at the moment everyone's just kind of resting, so he'd either be going through organising some stuff in the med bay, but he's probably already done enough of that, so he's just going to be reading some books and things. I think he's probably just finished one up and is going to go back to work, sort of. Back to working on med-bay stuff, unless he sees something interesting.
I gotcha.
Or maybe he finds out about the science team stuff.
Yes. Oh no, I'd be willing to say that's playing on in the background somewhere in the match. I'm actually going to ask Romanov, Shira, give me a fitness and security roll-off, please.
Fitness and security, both of us?
Yes.
Okay.
So that's Shira with 1 success.
Let's see.
Just go double check.
And I do not believe I have any focuses that apply. So just a straight roll. Fitness and security.
Yep. Oh,
1-0.
Yep. With that, Lambeth, you can you have cause for excitement as Shira leads the biological sciences comprised team to an early lead in the match. It's a nice way to punctuate the current murder mystery.
I'm having a serious talk with the Orc Cloud guys.
Yeah.
Port cloud, more like fart cloud, right? That's a
They're
good
coming
one.
back. You watch. They've got a plan.
Yep. The quartermaster comes out with like a pad with a highlighted like yellow slip on like towards Shira, and at this point, Lambeth, you are now getting an audio commentary. Oh dear, that appears to be a yellow card for unsportsmanlike conduct. It's quite a strange set of events.
Oh, come on, ref.
Ridiculous decision. Oh.
You hear Stuart, "Oh, come on! That was hardly anything."
You're blind, Ref. You're blind.
Death too. Oh,
But yes, the soccer game is rapidly engaging everyone's attention on the ship, um, and yeah, you find that the sick bay thankfully remains quiet. Otherwise, since your interesting patients and the handful of aliens you had before Aegis came back to Earth, there's been nothing more than the occasional routine strain or sprain. Maybe one person with that might have come in with a head cold at some point, but nothing that you couldn't clear up decently. So the times have gone pretty slowly, pretty easily, um, as much as they could for your personal duties. Obviously, the ambience of everything else going on outside this medbay and outside the ship may intrude at varying points, but you have as have come many times here, just a moment of relatively slow, stable. I don't know exactly how to place it.
Tranquil.
Tranquil for some, perhaps.
Tranquilized.
Well, that's a whole different story. I don't know if the doc's gotten quite that far yet.
That's the captain right now.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's the cap, right? Yeah.
Yeah. How does the doctor pass the boredom otherwise? Do you think that he's being more productive or something a tad more sinister going on?
I think he's always trying to be productive, but he sometimes that results in sometimes I guess that's messing with cocktails, and I guess even actually testing out drugs and things like that. Sometimes on himself, sometimes on lab rats of guinea pigs of either guinea pigs or humans, whatever variety, but yeah, also like reading things that are tangentially related to something that might be useful. So yeah, he's reading some Vulcan like literature at the moment, like murder mysteries and stuff like that, to get in because he thought that would be a helpful way to learn more about Vulcan physiology, would be through like murder mystery stuff.
I gotcha. Um, let's see here. Sorry, I've misplaced a note here. Let's see. Well, let's see. Well, sorry, completely lost my train of thought there. So yeah, you move about the day, picking up steady entertainment from the game and discerning a bit more from the novel that you've currently got, which uh, indeed could be in some ways could be suited as a drier medical text or a drier set of deduction, as unfortunately you've come to know these Vulcan murder mysteries do little in the way of inflecting interesting character or ascribing much in the way of interesting motivation. But you are still early into this current book, so maybe it will break your streak. But let's see here. Okay. Well, outside of anything with the book, would you want to do anything else in the moment, or perhaps take anything a bit further with something with a drug test or something else? Nope.
Sorry, what was that?
Oh,
I missed that.
I gotcha. I was just
That's
checking in to see if there was
Sorry.
anything else more involved you wanted to do with it.
I think not yet.
Okay.
It's
Well, we'll revisit more later, but in the meantime, let's jump ahead in the timeline a little bit, I guess. I'll ask Shira and Romanov for one more role, same fitness and security role.
Fitness. Hey.
Okay.
Ooh.
Let's see this shit.
Give me 1 sec. I closed my character sheet, so give me 1 minute. Okay, fitness and security again. Same deal.
Oh,
Oh man.
I think the Orc Cloud is. Oh wait, it's. Did we tie up the game? Have we brought it up? The Orc Cloud has brought its game up.
Well, the Orc Cloud is definitely pulling it up now. The game is getting very tight, but it looks like we're on the last bits of the timer, and oh dear, the total successes over this whole game seem to favor the mitochondrial players. It's the powerhouse of the body, and it's the powerhouse in this soccer game. Goal! This is being broadcast shipwide at this point. Goal! Oh dear. Captain, you are
People are
woken from
saying
your...
gold all around the ship.
Yep,
Goal!
Captain, you are woken up from your sleep by Crichton broadcasting at full volume. He meant to hit the in-ship soccer channel and accidentally broadcast shipwide.
Goal!
she grabs, like, just eyes wide open suddenly, and just grabs her phaser
Goal!
and just kind of just covers her face with the phaser and just, God damn it, I'm gonna murder them. Just one simple self-destruct, and there you go. There you go. But it's a good time for her to get herself up and start, cleaning herself up.
Yep. So the air scrubbers have done their work at this point, Captain, or at least most of it. The smell is much less thick in the room, and a shower will help clear most of the rest. Oh, the current uniform will probably have to go through the refuse or the recycling system.
Yeah.
Anyway, as all that's going on, there is one scene I could have for you right now, Shira, but I will elect to. Would you prefer to hold off until perhaps after the Ithanite rendezvous, or would you like it done now?
Let's go after the Ithanites.
Okay. So then, before we get to that point, does anybody else want to have a scene of any sort while the ship is moving to rendezvous with the freighter? Nope. Hearing none, I guess we will go ahead and move on up in the timeline. After a few hours, the Aegis.
Well, there's one thing if Romanov hears about this rendezvous with the ship.
Yes.
Just make sure there's a request to Patel that there be some engineers to check stuff as it's bought by crew and stuff like that. Just to make sure that there's nothing, dangerous about any of the technology that's being bought. Sometimes free traders will just sell anything they've got,
Yeah, perhaps have a couple of security there.
A security and an engineer. Somebody to check it engineering wise and somebody to check it security wise. In fact, I'm with the right person to handle that, so I just suggest that to the blue one.
Ah, yes. The blue one. Well, that's definitely doable to arrange. So I think that obviously final decision is with whomever leads the meetup, but this is technically a situation where you are welcoming aboard people from a species who there's some contact with, but it's I mean, Earth has probably some relations with the Ithanites, but this is still like a ship-to-ship meeting, so you could be present at the initial contact as well. Your duties would not necessarily pull you away from that. Uh, so we'll skip on ahead to a few hours later, when the Aegis makes its rendezvous with the Bounty Aplenty. It is a small, fairly standard freighter for the era. A decent complement and capable of landing on a planetary surface, has helped you get to Alpha Centauri some time ago. The Aegis has managed to clear the distance quite fast in order to make it a rendezvous with the freighter. Testament to the relative power of its engines and the efficient work both in engineering and at the helm. But the Bounty Aplenty will signal they are ready to come alongside and prepared to invite as many as are interested to come along. So the next scene we can put you guys up in the airlock. Who would like to meet the Bounty crew as you come alongside?
Well, the captain would, though she's still trying to shake off what's little left.
I think Patel's there too, both to be there and also to assist the captain.
Okay. Romanov, Shira, Dr. Lambeth, as word spreads to you about this, would you in particular like to any of you like to be present as well?
Yeah, I think there's probably something you can get from it.
Yeah, sure. I think Shira will be there.
All right. So then in that case, we will have the 5 of you on hand. An offer is extended to Saral, but he is presently engaged at the moment, so he will abstain from this for now. Connolly will also elect to remain at the helm. But other than that, you have a team of engineers led by the quartermaster, Chief Fernier, rather, and a couple Makos posted at the airlock. So let's just get this set up here. Fernier is going to be in the background, and as the ship is coming alongside, the airlock is beginning to pressurize properly, and we arrive with everyone in their jumpsuits appropriately located at this point. Romanov, sure, you've both had a chance to shower change after the very tight soccer game, which Shira's team managed to take over yours, Romanov. I think
Just for this particular round, the Orc Clouds will have their revenge.
yes.
I mean, you might think that, but
They keep
no.
claiming as such, but we have never seen it.
It'll happen.
Yeah,
As orbital mechanics govern the movement of objects through space and time.
Yeah,
sure,
in
but
centuries.
we won, and
Yeah,
you
we
lost.
won
This
now
round.
instead of
This round.
possibly later.
Yeah. That biological principle, selection of the fittest, or something like that. Something there.
Something for
natural
selection
evolution,
of the fittest,
so on and so on. Yeah,
and like peak evolution of football and stuff. We won.
The
Sharp,
end result is we won, you lost.
Sharp, real quick, give me just a fitness and medicine roll just to see. I'm going to set the difficulty up on this up to 3 just to see how far along in the recovery you are.
I mean, I've taken a few antioxidants, but she also hits it pretty hard. So, fitness and medicine, you said?
Yes.
Double check all my stuff. I got nothing for this. Gambling?
Not so much.
Task roll 2. Focus, no. And it looks nice though, the new sheets.
Okay, you're mostly there. You certainly don't have a residual smell, which I'm sure at least Commander Patel will appreciate.
I've had decades of practice on this. I really hope I don't have a residual smell.
You look better than you feel at this point, and you don't feel too terrible, but
Yeah.
maybe just a little haggard.
Yeah.
And yeah, as the final docking procedure is set, any words you would wish to exchange amongst yourselves?
Any quirks I should know about this? These Athenites.
Well, there is the one. He is a very good boy. I think he's their second in command, or
Well, he's
Hang
the
on,
second person on their ship, and he's utterly incompetent.
his name is Narth, and he is very friendly. But no, other than that, Captain, no.
Extreme incompetence. I think we caught him trying to smuggle some kind of rare crystal.
He also has a bad habit of keeping communications open when they should be silent.
Yes.
Good to know.
Wouldn't call it a bad habit. It's been very useful for us.
Apart from that time, it brought the Tellarite forces down on our heads.
He may or may
That
not be.
worked out in the end.
May or may not be directly responsible for Alpha Centauri being independent right now. No big deal.
I'm suddenly glad we're out in the middle of the void. All right.
As the door opens, the sound of a fanfare emanates from the other side of the ship as carrying a large bowl of some sort. Narth is the first person to step through, and he is tossing about what appear to be small, glassy pebbles, stepping ahead with fair-sized trots, as much as all, 3-4 foot of him can manage. He's tossing it about. I brought the friendship beads. Hello, friends. Hello, my Star Force friends. I am Narth.
Hello, Narth.
Narth, pleasure to meet you. I am Captain Sharp.
Oh, hey, Tony. You shaved.
That I have. She gives a small smile.
And as he walks forward, you see another portly Ithanite coming in just behind him, slightly shorter than Narth, and with a great big bushy beard. Yes. The Aegis. I hadn't actually been aboard this ship before, but where's Tony?
The previous captain had been reassigned due to, Starfleet politics. But at the current moment, I am the captain of the Aegis. Good day to you.
Oh, hello, Captain. My name is Lemash. I am the humble owner and operator of the Bounty of Plenty, and its captain, and this is Narth. Hi, I'm Narth. Would you like friendship beads? He says, holding up the bowl to everybody. They seem to be, as I said, very small, glassy pebbles. You can take as many as you like.
Oh, thank you, Narth. I'll take a few.
Patel takes a few and he grabs one and like holds it up to the light and closes one eye and sort of looks into the bead.
Yeah, I'll take just one.
Yeah, so I'll take one and put it in the pocket.
Okay. Sharp,
Thank you, North.
Sharp, do you want a bead? Or two?
I'll get some and hand them to her. She needs some friendship beads.
There's a part of her that is hesitant, but she will reservedly take one from the chief. Or
Oh, that's great. Friendship is better with beads, and beads are better with friends. Ah, well, thank you, Narth, Lamash says and waves him aside as he starts offering to the Makos, who I think are a little more restrained in this. They maintain their composure, but the chief will take some, as will some of the engineers. Uh, let's see. Yes, well, we appreciate our good relations with the crew of the Aegis and with an Earthship, and we certainly appreciate you not mentioning the earlier business. Anyway, how's about we find more pleasant endeavors? Perhaps you can join us aboard on our wares deck.
that would be lovely. Certainly, from what I've been told, Ithnites have the finest of wares, and I would love to see what you have in stock.
Oh yes, I have a special selection of different objects and trinkets that I may well prove very interesting indeed. You know, ours is the one state. Our ship has some state-of-the-art stasis-based technology that helps to maintain the general integrity of everything that we keep on hand. So it's a real treat. And I have no doubt that you will appreciate what we have to offer.
No doubt. Shall you lead the? Can you lead the way, Captain?
Yes, of course. Narth, come back aboard. We don't want to be rude. Okay. He hands off the ball to one of the engineers. You could keep the beats. Oh, okay. Find a nice place for it. Maybe put it in the mess hall. Give to the Ithanites. Vernier says to him. All right. And one of the engineers on the team will go back and take it about. But yes, the rest of you will start to board the ship. The gangway that you enter through is actually of decent size for you. It's maybe a little cramped, but not much more than what the Aegis has set up here. You note, Patel, this is actually a different hatch from the one you initially used. You'll excuse our. I hope you appreciate the new one, and well, under the circumstances last time you were here, for those that were, of course, so we had to conduct some very minor upgrades, or rather, some renovations in this section. But I think that you will find it is much more pleasant setup compared to the last time that we had it.
Do you have many visitors that are of larger stature than yourselves since we last spoke?
Oh, well, it only made sense to reinvest in this. For whatever efforts we can do to sell things on on the planet, on planets below where we stop, we have to find ourselves ready to make a handoff on the, well, how do I say, uh, sometimes a bit further out in orbit in order to, you know, make sure that we are properly, um, I don't know, basically make sure that if it comes to it, that we can sell off our wares in all manner of places. Does that make a fair bit of sense?
None does.
Well, yes. So you walk through a couple of corridors, getting around to different parts of the ship, um, and when the after just a few minutes of kind of navigating around a very gently sort of lit mix of what appears to be metallic and wood textures, something that is very clearly meant to evoke something at once, on one hand, very. It's both very sort of. It, there's a luxurious element to it, I think. It's meant to evoke something modern, but also something very homely, I suppose, would be a word for it. So it's very clearly something where they are trying to put forward their best foot and um, in essence create a very kind, warm environment for you. The temperature is mostly pleasant. Shira, you're probably the one person who notes it's a hair warmer than the Aegis is kept, and thus you get a little bit less out of this.
Lovely.
Yes. Of course, we are mostly predisposed to other crew members, other types of crew, I suppose. But I like to think it is rather worthwhile, or rather, we make it worthwhile for most. So let's see. Just trying to load this up right now and having a very slow moment with Roll20. Please work. Oh, we're almost there.
Roll20 will get there eventually.
Yep. Okay. So let me take you up to the segment with our finest wares. The small or the smaller gentleman says, and you open onto a deck that above board comes to us courtesy the Old Republic. I'm crossing the streams here or franchises, but I think it works.
How dare you?
You'll live. As you
No, I
see,
think that looks like a very Star Trek-y ship.
yep. So you see a fairly a fairly extensive bay here with a gentle sloping roof, mostly sort of a dull polished steel color about the curves of the station, although some with more bronze and even deeper browns to suggest more of a wooden texture. There are numerous sort of displays and other boxes not being portrayed here properly, but there are a number of pads about the room that seem to emit a faint ethereal glow around the various objects in here. I'll ask you, everybody, give me an insight and an insight roll with a discipline of your choosing.
I'll do inside engineering.
Okay. Let's see. So I have Patel, Romanov, Shira. Sharp is not getting much of anything
There
off
you go.
this. I think partly your
It,
dice might
it
have.
My dice broke. I fixed it.
Okay, there we go. All right, that's 2 successes there. All right, so there are several very interesting sites that you note around here. Going in order, Patel, there are all manner of unusual wonders about the ship. I would say that there are a few displays mounted on some tables along the sides of the room that show interesting geodes of various sorts. Obviously, none of the illegal kinds they were smuggling the last time, but things of varying warm colors and hues that seem to dance before your eyes. There are also unusual signs of what appear to be various life forms of some sort, including one very small, it looks almost like just a ball of fluff on one of the pads over there. Um, in terms of what you would note, Romanov and Sharp, there are some oddities. One, at least, very large display that actually resembles some sort of archaic-looking robot. As a matter of fact, it looks like it was a feature in a movie that was playing just the other night on the Aegis. There are also a few unusual devices about. One very large container of some sort of something that stands very nearly 3 meters tall and is quite wide. You could easily fit a few people inside of it. It's practically the size of a turbolift, but it seems to have no discernible opening points or some sort, so you can only guess as to the function of the device. There's also something deeply unusual near the back of the room. Some sort of stand with a translucent, really bordering on opaque, white spherical object that just seems to be sitting in place. Shira, for your part, you notice that among the numerous trinkets there are a couple of objects of note. One, a very old and grizzled Klingon melee weapon of some sort. But there's also the unmistakable signs of a very burnt and badly damaged Andorian weapon.
Interesting.
Yes, you would guess it to be one of your plasma rifles.
I'll go over and inspect that.
Let's see. With the 2 successes, I will give you for free. It does look to be an older model. Probably something that was in service possibly in the last 70 or 80 years. Probably not being used on with many frontline units or anything. Well, please look about the bay, ask any questions you want. If there's anything I can interest you in, then I can answer all manner of questions.
I'm going to check out the cute little furry critters.
Okay, well, the most prominent of them standing on the pad here, the small little fluff ball, Lamash says, very, very good taste. We acquired this recently off of a trader. They were quite happy to get rid of it for a simple price. It's, well, they didn't tell me what it was, but they said that it can be very, very soothing in the right hands. Some people aren't as fond of it. Do you want me to take it out of stasis here for you?
Sure.
Right, he'll disengage the field and let's move. It occurs to me I haven't brought any of you into the set here, so let's fix that.
And thus Pandora's box was open.
That's right.
Okay, so stand by here.
And all human women react to these particular critters going, they're so cute.
I mean, even men did. I mean, Odo,
That's right. That's right.
Odo, and O'Brien, and all that kind of jazz.
Finally
The
have a weapon to use against the Broken Sword crew.
be careful, one of
Yes.
them's in the chat right now.
Just how many quatloos would we have to spend in order for a triple invasion of their ship?
Oh, that would be. That's at least a complication there. I might make that I might have to make Doom tier Quatlu stuff. And to answer your question there, yeah, I I mean, I think that to the author in chat, Odo is Odo's certainly male presenting and has more het tendencies, although his I do favor the one outtake where he says goodbye to Quark in most spectacular fashion. Which for anyone interested, yes, please go to YouTube, go find that DS9 outtake because it's great. Uh, but Odo indisputably appreciates that particular little fuzzy creature too. There are no Klingons, secret or otherwise, among this crew, so you are all fine.
You know, Eula needs some cheering up. I'm going to buy it for her.
Upon seeing you try and gesture for buying, the captain says, "No,
You
find
want
something
one?
else.
I'll get it for you.
Find something else, Romanov."
Is there something wrong with these creatures?
Oh,
Yes, it looks over the Ethanite.
I consider them a virtual steal. Romanov, you notice where once you were holding one, a second tribble is now in your hand.
Wow, look, there were two there.
Oh,
No.
I don't think
I
out
would
of
happily
character.
charge
Now
you the price for just one.
Oh, okay.
Romanov, I'd rather not have pets on my ship. If you're stationed somewhere else, certainly I can see more understandable means. But the answer is no. Put it back.
And you've had problems with these before?
Put them back, Romanov. She says,
It's like a kid on a school trip. She puts
Aw.
it back in the thing and looks sad because she wanted to get one for Eula.
You set down 4 tribbles.
And now there's 5.
Actually, there's 8. Narth, give me power to the stasis fields now! Sure thing, boss. And he flips a switch and it reactivates. Okay, so yes, that's maybe...
Because I figured she's never seen any of those on Alpha Centauri.
Certainly not. Anyway. So is there anything anyone else would want to ask about?
Yeah, where did you get this Andorian plasma?
Oh yes, a rare
So
find.
I've just seen you've added a load more trivial things to it.
That was a rare find indeed. A relic from one of the previous Andorian Tellarite wars. Some say it may still even have a functional power cell left. We dare not open it or defile such a weapon of great importance and great cultural relevance, he says, extending out his hands as much as his small wingspan will allow. But you know, you look like you are an Andorian of discernment, possibly even a warrior yourself. It may not be a blade, but one of those ice picks that you are so fond of, but It could well be an interesting cultural marker. Perhaps you could even sell it back to the guard. I hear they're in need of weapons and the like.
No, no, that'll do. I think it'll just you can keep it in your collection. I'm sure someone will appreciate its value more than I.
Does Shira look like she wants it though?
Not particularly. I think she's more interested in why is this here? Why is this 80-year-old weapon on this ship?
You know, go ahead,
Go
please.
ahead. No. I was gonna move on. Go ahead.
I could always fix it up, but I kind of want one. Can I? But no, it's for the customers, Narth. Oh, okay. Um, what do I do to be a customer? Narth, not now. All right. Can I show you something else? I like the robot.
What is that robot? It looks strangely familiar.
Oh yes, it is a mysterious robot of different of distant origin. Is it a weapon of ancient mass destruction, or is it perhaps an old servant of a race long since past? Perhaps you can uncover its mysteries. I bought it on Alpha Centauri. It was part of this movie they had. I bought a lot of movies on Alpha Centauri. Believe this was Space Commander and the Frontier of Tomorrow. I love it. It's got Star Force in it.
Oh, well, there's your answer.
North clutches his fists and is clear that he's about to just swell up and burst. I'm a big fan of all the old Earth media.
Oh, that's why it looks familiar. Okay.
Should meet our Mr. Crichton.
Write a note to the captain. Recruit him now. This is an opportunity to grasp exceptionalism, and I'll hand it to the captain.
She'll just give you look at the tablet, look over to you, just like, no, like,
I'm gonna go check the batlith out.
Yeah, I was gonna do that myself.
Yeah. It appears old. It appears very old, very grizzled. Yes. An ancient weapon of the Klingot people. It is rumored that the founding the founder of the empire. I think it was Molor. Molor himself wielded this.
She'll just look over at it. Could I hold it?
It is very old, but yes, certainly. Why? The customer is always right, he says, and he'll disengage the stasis.
I will gingerly, but properly, hold it way in my hand.
Give me an insight and security roll.
Okay. Close quarters combat.
Yes.
Alright, that's right. Only one.
Let's see. With your particular expertise, I think I am prepared to give you a particular realization there, Sharp. As it feels very, very
It's a nice weight, nicely balanced. She swings it a little bit. But I think you've been robbed, Captain.
Whatever do you mean?
It's fake.
What,
It's not Coromite. It's some other. I mean, it's Coromite lined, she says, like starts tapping and scratching a little bit at the corners. But it's not some Coromite and Drinmite. It's not actual Klingon Batmouth. Or at least, certainly one made to look like one, but not from actual Konos.
Oh, well, that's disappointing. I wish dishonor on that the big round-eared one that gave us that. Don't remind me.
Big round one?
It's a long story. Ah, well, you're still welcome to look about the bay. I'm sure there's something in here we could find that'd be worthwhile. I'd give you.
What's this thing in the front?
Ah, yes. Well, this is truly an interesting bit of gear. It is from the mysterious Irelians. We found a wreck some ways ago, and we discovered their a bit of advanced technology still left intact. What it is, well, we could not fully discern. It could be a power core, it could be a computer system, it could be something more potent, like their energy shield emitters. Or it could be something of their efficient engine system, or even a means to hide a ship altogether. Oh, I don't know if you've heard stories of those Xyrelians, but their technology is supposedly unparalleled by any around, but they're very hard to find. Why, with the right set of minds behind it, I'm sure you could unlock great potential with this device.
Can I pop a hand scanner out of my pocket and give it a wave over this thing?
Yeah, go right ahead. This will be reason, and I will allow you to pick between science or engineering. Depending on which option you take, it will tell you slightly different things.
Gotta go with science.
Very good.
Does it look? It looks like so. It's an actual construction, right? Like it's a device.
It does appear to be a device or module of some sort.
Okie dokie. Yep. Roll.
Okay, that is 2 successes on the board. So, Patel, as you run your sensor scan over it, there's a lot that is very difficult to make out with this. You might have in your refresher or like transition course somewhere amidst them, you may have heard something of some mention of the Xyrelians. So it is known that they are a highly technologically advanced race, but Earth has had very little formal contact with them. However, it is worth noting that as far as the device goes, it's very hard to discern a function. There doesn't actually appear to be a major power source or anything with serious energy arrangements. There's a very unusual set of energy signatures, some sort of. It seems like there could be something almost resembling an emitter system, but it appears completely inert. There appears to be a fairly unusual set of Gee, the best way to describe it might be some mix of machinery and almost crystalline arrangements within the device, uh, the function of which you can only guess.
Fascinating. Commander, and he turns and looks at Romanov and sort of holds up the hand scanner. Do you mind taking a look at this?
Sure. I'll take a look at it.
In the hopes that she can roll for engineering.
Okay. Do you want to take a stab at it yourself? Perhaps
Sure.
Reason and engineering?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and take your roll here.
Oh dear.
Okay, so that is no successes and a complication.
I think it's designed to help those little furry creatures over there. We need to turn it on maximum and put it around the little furry creatures.
Well, Romanov, I presume you are electing to take a narrative complication with this.
Yeah.
All right. Well, the furry creatures are certainly on your brain right now. But you don't really have anything more to add on this, but the idea of it being some sort of emitter or that suggestion does open up very interesting possibilities. This device could well be something fairly significant, something with sufficient tactical or other technological potency to be a massive boon for the Aegis and perhaps Starfleet vessels in general. It is very attractive.
Now this is not the cargo ship I've been looking for, right? This is not the one that has the artifact that I'm obsessed with, right?
Oh no, the Bounty of Plenty is exactly the ship you've been looking for.
Oh, it has. Then
This is the ship you're looking for.
I thought I was looking for a different one. Then you know what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the artifact that I've encountered.
Oh yes, they did tell you they had some cargo that would be relevant to what you'd been looking for in the past.
Okay. Then I'm completely distracted by that. It's like, it's some kind of emitter. It ought to be nifty. Go ahead and buy it.
Yeah. As your thoughts differ over to that, and oh dear, Caligo in chat is our friend from the Broken Sword game. The Furby uprising is all but certain now. Aegis crew be warned. But anyway, so let's see. Sharp will kind of wave that off. Or rather, Romanov will wave that off as she realizes that she does in fact have another bit of important business to deal with here. While we're handling that sequence there, does anyone else want to interject as far as the big device goes? Or just go with Romanov's recommendation?
Captain, perhaps you can tell us what this device does exactly.
Well, I'm afraid I can only guess at its function. But suffice to say, it is an interesting bit of technology here. We tried to power it ourselves, but we don't exactly have a full-on machine works laboratory here. We're not a science vessel, after all. But perhaps somebody more intrepid, like your Starfleet types, would be more interested in the challenge and may learn something new from it. I'd be happy to arrange some transfer for a certain quantity of warp plasma.
It doesn't have a power source of its own?
We thought there was something internal to it, but it wouldn't accept any power from us.
Should just look over Patel. How much of a kid is Patel right now at this new device?
I think he's less device happy than like Romanov might be, but he's fascinated by the puzzle of it, I guess.
Certainly, we have a little bit of extra plasma, I do believe. Just looks over to Patel, don't we?
I believe so. He looks at the engineer.
Chief Fernier, who's on hand, says, "Oh yeah, we've got a bit of that. I can arrange a barrel or two to be sent over. I'd much rather 4. But I understand we're playing nice here with our friends in Starfleet, who are not going to put in any reports that would risk a censorate. So let
Not at
us."
all. We're simply helping out friends, as it were. A friendly exchange, if one might even bring it up.
Yes. Well, in exchange for those 2 barrels of drive plasma, we can definitely see to it that this device at least is brought over.
Excellent.
Yep.
You have a deal.
And amidst that, let's see. Guess before we check back in with Romanov, Doctor, was there anything that you wanted to look at or look for amongst the wares that they have here? There are some that are pictured and others that are not. I would even go so far as to give you the option for possible advantages if you wanted to hunt anything out.
I don't think he's. Yeah, he's probably not looking for anything in particular. I don't know what is there that might stand out to him. Anything like medical relevant, or I guess alien species stuff as well. He's probably quite interested in at the moment.
Well, there are the now 24 furballs that are accruing on the pad very near that Romanov had opened earlier. Divert more power
Right.
to the stasis field. They're steadily taking shape.
These little hairy things do look cute, don't you think so, Doc?
Cute is a word. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, they're just some balls of fur. Like,
Seem
as far
nice
as
balls
balls
of
of
fur.
fur go, they're not bad.
Yeah, they look nice.
Like, the little wriggling they do is a little disconcerting.
Oh, that's
sure
what they do when they drop another
But
creature into this universe. They kind of wiggle a little bit.
I wonder if I've got any food to feed them with.
We shouldn't have been handing them any food. Oh, I thought I was supposed to be in charge of feeding them. No, it's only a stasis unit. They'd be fine without food. Or when there's one. Oh, I'm sorry. I activated the dispenser. Hold on. With that, the growing ceases, and there is the vague hint of some sort of energy field or like an illumination around them. There we go.
How much for one?
No.
Sorry, what was that, Captain?
No. I've
No
already
what?
said this before.
Said what before?
no, the captain seems to be saying that a lot these days.
Oh,
Spoil sport.
that's a shame.
That's no fun.
I mean, I heard Captain Archer allows meat-eating carnivores on his ship.
And that is very nice for that captain. but for my own ship, I prefer not to have any pets. Unfortunate, and certainly you can call me a spoil sport, but I've laid down the order.
Uh,
No.
Oh,
I mean, well, how about if we saw them not as pets, but as I
Research
mean, I'm
something.
running low on guinea pigs.
No.
I've got an egg.
They're self-replacing guinea pigs. That seems pretty useful to me. I can.
That is a special
I mean, I
ability.
guess all guinea pigs are self-replacing guinea pigs, but
These were self-replace faster, though.
well, most guinea pigs are self-replacing guinea pigs.
Not only is that inhumane, but further, I already lay down the order.
Fair enough.
If you want, I can give you the egg I picked up on Berengaria 7.
What's the egg? What's it look like?
It's kind of round, more like an oval.
I guess it looks like an egg. I don't know why I asked. I'm sorry.
It's exactly what you'd expect from North.
Yeah. Does
Incident.
it do anything interesting?
Oh, well, if it will grow one day and it will open, and you'll have some quality time with a pet. Sharp, incidentally, give me a reason and command, please.
Yep.
You can take care
Yeah,
of it.
Captain.
Mom
What's your
Mom has to be in
stance on
charge.
things?
All right, reason command. Yep. You know my shit. Any of that matters?
Yeah, I think that this would be one thing that you would have had awareness of.
Okay. 2.
Okay. Stand by.
Oh. How out of character? How quickly do they mature?
Uh, quick enough to be a concern.
She just
I don't even know what this
sighs,
is. It's just funny.
looks over Tel. Commander, can you make sure that none of our crew, in any capacity, brings animal or animal to be of any sort, any creature? Just you get the gist. On my
Patel-
ship.
Well, as the ship's doctor, I would have to say that technically we are animals.
There's that
So,
maternal.
Are
There's
you
that
implying we're not
maternal
allowed
look.
to leave this ship?
There's that maternal look of like mom's not having your business.
Does that mean I'll get to have friends?
Oh, you've already got friends enough.
You've got all these hairy things to play with.
They are about as tall as he is now.
Yeah, them too.
I wonder if they can help engage in my favorite activity.
Not sure I want to know what that is.
Long conversations.
They probably can.
Oh, good. Hi, I'm North.
I'm gonna leave him to it.
The fuzzy mass just coos at him. Oh yeah, I feel the same way.
Supposed to be in stasis.
North, divert more power to it. I'm sorry, sir. Lamosh.
Stasis is what?
Okay. Captain, I will ask only for one.
Completely forgotten a word there. Never mind.
I will ask you for. I will ask you just for one barrel of warp plasma if you can help me get rid of the fuzzy things. We only had one. The state. I don't even need you to take them with me. Do you have So, I don't know.
Perhaps
I'll
you and I
figure
can
it out.
discuss, Captain. Perhaps you and I can discuss a few deals and further negotiation, shall we? Should you like Josh to like down the hall or whatever,
Yep.
just to talk?
Yep. So, Lamash will head off with you. But is there? Let's see. Would any of you like to carry this scene much further, or um, do you think that you have had your fill on the ship here? Not that anyone can ever truly have their fill of North.
North time.
I think we're probably good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's North, Tom, bitches.
Let's get Northy.
You guys can have a Tribble, or you can have Narth. You
North.
decide.
Triple.
We want North. We want North.
No, don't. It's a trick question. You want none of those.
Triple.
I just want to see Narth and Crichton in the same room.
North is that higher. This is this field opportunity to increase the capacity of the crew with North.
Oh, I appreciate the gesture, but honestly, I don't know what Lemar should do without me. He's kind of a hot mess.
Yeah, I see that. You really keep them together. You have an important job here.
Yes, I'm the backbone, the brains, and the super. I'm the what does the words and work good. I'm North. But I think with that, unless there's anything of particular substance that you want to do, we may move ahead in the timeline here.
Well, only that she wants to get to the back to see that artifact that she's encountered before.
Oh yes. North will actually. Hey, wait a minute. Uh, you don't we have a contract with you already?
Yes, you do.
Oh yeah. The mummies. That's right. Let me get it over to you, and he'll run around and he will wheel up, rather with a sort of hovering, a hover cart of some sort, a case. Uh, we've had these mummies for a little while now.
Yeah, you are fulfilling your contract. Thank you.
I'm sorry about the delay. You, we'll make these complimentary this time. They weren't there in 30 minutes.
Fair enough. No, I definitely appreciate it. And I'll have a team wheel the artifact into a secured engineering location.
Well,
How does the ship get money? Like Narth is like, oh no, here you go for free.
Because I paid him a crap load of credits for this thing a long time ago.
Lamar's just like, oh, don't remind me. But someday we will crack more of a profit. And we will steadily extend our reach. First this trade ship, then the world. Or a world. One world, I guess, is too small of an aspiration.
Yeah, one world is
I should recalibrate.
not enough.
Then the galaxy.
That's right.
All right. With all of that in process, Narth will see to it that the items are wheeled. Lamash will talk with you for a time, Captain, setting up the remaining bits of like the remaining aspects of the trade, and with some elapsed time, the five of you, along with the other supporting crew, are going to work out some basic arrangements, maybe give you a few more odds and ends. As all of this is going on, and you are starting to make your way off. Oh, look, Lamash, the egg's opening. I showed it the love and care that it needed. What are you talking about? There's a crackle and the signs of something reptilian kind of angling its nose out. Oh dear.
Time to go.
Oh, yes. So one brief little sight gag later, the Aegis is back out in space, having at the captain's order, after doing the absolute minimum of tasks necessary, decided to separate the ship immediately. Uh, yes, with that, there are everything seems in order on the Bounty of Plenty, but yeah, your job here seems to mostly be done. The ship is not in trouble, and you've gotten a little bit of gear as a result of it. I will say for your part too, there were probably a few small things, interesting chemical precursors or drugs that could be reverse engineered, maybe a little bit of navigational data, uh, a few other small sundry bits and bobs that would help augment what you have. Go ahead. Sorry?
Alcohol?
Oh. I think Narth could throw in something for you. I'll pick this
Sweet.
up on a world with lizard people. Maybe they're friends of my little the little one now. He gives you a nice full glass of Saurian brandy, a rather bottle.
She gives it a whiff and then a nod. Thank you.
That is
Yeah.
strictly apocryphal. I think that the Saurians don't actually have proper contact until then. North may have just abducted some Saurian brandy at some point. Anyway, the
I think what he meant to say was that he saw Ian's brandy.
exactly.
And as they say around here, Narth happens.
Yep, that is definitely a word. So yeah, sometime later, the freighter Lamash, having his hands plenty full, will decide to set off and just go to warp, leaving you to yourselves with all of the gear that you have on hand. So yeah, there are still a few scenes we could get to this evening or afternoon, depending on where you are watching from. Morning, I suppose, even for some people. Let's see. We have, for Romanov, there is the device that you have acquired that is of supposedly Xyrillian origin. There is the there are
The
the
precious?
remains. Yes, there are the remains there that you've also acquired. There is one thing I have for Shira as well. Would you? Let me ask, actually, Romanov first. Is there anything of those in particular that you are more interested in looking at right now?
And also, are you going to inform Patel or?
Yeah, I will inform Patel that I picked up a piece of cargo these people were carrying for me. It's archaeotech, and I've secured it.
Are you informing me like to note it in the ship's log, or do you want me to like work on it with you?
This is just for your knowledge. If I need your help with it, I will definitely let you know, and that will probably happen. It's not a big priority to work on this thing, but I've encountered this piece of technology before.
Okay. Yeah. In the meantime, Patel does the paperwork, I guess, on the stuff that we got.
Fair enough. So, yeah, question still stands, Romanov, between the remains or that which is tied to the relic. Were you
What was
more
the
interested?
first item?
The
What
first
was
item
first
was the first item was the unidentified Xyrillian module that you had acquired. Its function is unknown, although Patel suspects that there may be some sort of emitter involved. The Ithanites were unable to make it work properly, so they don't know anything about this. Or they can't tell you what its function is. That would be something kind of up to you, I suppose. But the question
What
is whether
does
you wanted to look at that or the like thing related to the artifact.
Well, the artifact is here now, so it's not a rush item anymore. I'll ask Patel what he wants me working on. Do you want me working on that emitter, or
I don't think he would have a preference. I mean, I think it's since both of the items are in your care, it's whichever one you want to work on first.
I think I'll work on the emitter first, because since I kind of know what the other one is, or at least I vaguely think I know.
Okay. Then we will touch upon that. I have a science lab set up in mind to cover exactly this. So there will be, of course, room for Romanov to be present. Would anyone else like to be down there when they are first looking at the module?
Yep, I'll be there.
The captain will be there. Why not?
Okay. So let me just activate these and get these tokens visible. All right. So let's see. Some scientists and the engineers on hand have brought this module down to the lab. They have been starting to assess whether there is anything you could do to investigate it with more depth. There is a ship. There are some ship-mounted sensors that could, or within the lab, that could assist you in terms of analysis. There is also there are also localized power taps that could be engaged if you want to try and activate it by any means.
Well, first analysis, then activation. That's usually how it's done.
The captain want to make sure that emitter is not tied to anything, anywhere, power source wise or otherwise, to this ship. We're going to battery power if need be. But
yeah, battery power and no direct connection to the ship's computer systems either.
Yeah, everything.
Or wireless or anything else. Essentially, it's a dead room and it's a dead field around the object with just the battery and setup that we put around it. I'll use a portable computer to analyze it.
Copy that. All right, so for your initial analysis, I'm going to call this a reason and engineering roll. Since you are using well, I think that you could still say that the ship's sensors and engineering could be helping you in this particular case.
Okay.
Even if it's not directly connected in. The difficulty to fully analyze this device is going to be... I'll set the... I honestly think that the threshold would go all the way up to 5, but I will allow an intermediate level of answers if you don't quite get that far.
Okay.
So you do still have 1 momentum ready for use.
Can I give an assist with science, or?
Please do.
I think that actually with the ship assisting, that would restrict what we are able to do in this case, or the GM will elect to apply the rule in this case. I mean, not to snuff you out here, but I think that it applies.
Right, then I'll roll for the ship then, I guess.
All right, go right ahead. Romanov, I believe that
Yep.
the roll to start off with would be yours with reason and engineering.
Okay. Reason and engineering, and I have reverse engineering.
I think that would apply as a focus.
Why I took it. Okay. And do you guys want me to spend a momentum, or do you want me to wait until later?
Go for it.
Okay. So I'm rolling 3 dice with a focus and what have you. Also making sure that no subspace signals leave this room, just in case.
Also, we are nearing the end of the session, so you could probably just termination it.
Yeah, that is a legit thing. Let's see. Every problem has a solution. I'll go ahead and drop that for 2 successes to start.
Okay. I think just for the fun of it, I am going to drop 3 threat to increase the complication range by 3. While we're all spending everything.
Just for the fun of it, yeah.
Just for
Yeah.
the fun, yeah.
Lots of fun there.
Yes.
Ooh.
Oh, that is just shy of the complication range, so no fun from threat there.
Gosh.
But that is 3 successes
Okay.
on the board, and then Patel, you may roll for the ship's sensors and engineering.
Also a complication of 3.
Oh,
It's
well, I didn't do
okay.
that.
I will. That is a 17 right there, so
So that would be.
maybe we don't want to tempt fate.
3 17s there.
Yep.
Uh,
Well, Romanov, with the analysis you're able to conduct, honestly, you aren't able to advance the information much further than what you already have. Part of the problem here is that it seems as though the device might actually be accepting power from the battery pack, but that it is at the rate that it is supplying power, the module is just not terribly. It's not terribly effective, or like the functions, whatever they may be, are not taking full effect. This does, however, give you a sense that this would indeed be something that would likely be a more integral ship system. It's meant to take on more sophisticated, uh, significant amounts of power, more so, frankly, than your battery packs can supply. That would lend itself to some sort of powerful emitter that could serve a crucial ship function of some sort. What that is, you don't know, however. There does seem to be, I will say, the internal, crystalline elements of it might be some sort of either power conducting element, or it might be some sort of unknown, computer technology of some sort of a design that you are unfamiliar with. However, there's virtually no processing happening on any level with it right now.
Okay. Can I look based on just its layout and how it connects to stuff based on the design? You said it was a more integral system. This would be a smaller part, like a focuser or something that does a particular job. See if I can attack it from that angle.
With that level of success, I actually don't think that you'd be able to even work that out. It's hard to say without sufficient power. It's hard to say what the exact range and capability of this emitter is.
I'll just look at Pell and say we need more power if we're going to understand it.
Would hooking it up to a shuttle pod be an option?
Do I think that would be enough power to activate it?
Well, that could well do something for it. You'd probably have to. You'd be running that engine pretty hot, but
Yeah, that's the kind of power we're gonna need. run this by the skipper.
I'm right here.
Oh,
All right. Strip it as much that shuttle as much as you can down to just the function of powering that engine. But it's approved.
okay.
Okay, sometime later, in set piece not found, you manage to get the shuttle pod. You manage to get a shuttle pod relatively stripped down, with basic functions and no ties into the computer between this and the other device. Yes, you can hook it into the module at will.
Chief Justice looks on and sort of crosses his eyes from across the shuttle bay. What are you doing to my shuttle pod, commanders?
Well, we're trying to use it as a engineering powering unit for this technology that we're looking at.
We'll put it back together afterwards.
We'll clean up after our mess, we promise.
Your innocent reflection comes back through his sunglasses. I see. Well, just don't scratch my baby.
The sunglasses see through all deception. There's only truth.
So, yeah, with the module hooked up, the shuttle pod is ready to be activated and power flowing into the device. We'll say there's a red shirt or red striped shirt person in the pod saying, ready to go at your say-so, Commander.
Okay, let's do it.
All right, activating engines. There's a slight hum from the shuttle pod as the internal machinery works. Bringing that up and feeding power through the tap. Romanov, Patel, you are both looking at your sensors and you see indeed that power is accepted into the module and it does appear to be, well, it appears to be powered now. Some of the computer works within there seem to be at least accepting energy. The orb at the top of this device has taken on a slightly illuminated hue. It's still the relatively opaque, whitish, very sort of cloudy or frosty sort of appearance. You see no signs of any sophisticated processing or other instruction taking place.
Okay, well, again, just studying what's happening to the energy, while it's, while it's there.
Is it giving off any kind of like radiation or anything like that, or like a signal?
There is no discernible radiation or signals being broadcast from the emitter. It just appears to be the module just appears to be powered, and there is, as near as you can discern, no signs of any sort of other change in the device, no signs of it reacting to anything, or of the capacity for it to emit, however that is meant to work. You see no discernible change there.
Is there any subspace transmission or anything of that sort? Says the captain. What is it emitting?
Did we forget to turn on a button?
As near as your sensors can tell, there's no means to interact with the emitter or no other nothing else on the device that would suggest anything you could interact with to flip a switch.
Is it wirelessly putting anything out on any unusual frequencies?
There's no emission from this whatsoever, beyond just the energy signature coming from it being powered.
Does it appear to be resonating with any known frequencies associated with the human brain or sentient creatures, like certain bandwidths that type of stuff tends to operate in? I guess the question is it giving off some kind of psychic
Mental image of Sorrel like screaming in his quarters.
oh no, he'd be loving this stuff.
Saral just pops out from his shuttle because this is the shuttle bay now and not the science lab. What are you all up to? And why is there a glowing orb in here? Are we setting a mood lighting?
We got we bought an emitter from an ethanite. Not sure what it does.
Oh joy. How much did you waste on it?
A slight of plasma.
Oh well, I guess that's something for the junkyard. Or not too bad. Oh well. Yes, I guess you can let it glow so long as it doesn't disturb things too much. And he'll just close up the shuttle.
All right, Ensign, kill it.
Okay. We'll kill it.
The shuttle pod disengages. The device still appears to be like slightly powered and retaining some of its energy here.
Some or all?
I would say, yeah, the scans from the power levels, just going off your earlier what successes you had, it does suggest that it has retained the power that you have supplied it.
Is it like a circuit bus where like it's holding it for a little while but degrading, or?
I think that would be more something to expend one more insight and engineering roll for.
Okay. Let me take a look at it from that point of view.
Watch
Insight and engineering, and I assume I get my focus.
Yes.
This is 2 dice. Do we want to spend any more? Do we have any more momentum?
I don't believe you do.
Okay.
You could give the GM threat if you so wish.
This is not the Klingon game. I'm not running like I was last Saturday, where I was just taking the threat.
Fair enough. It's hard to say whether this is whether a part of the device is functioning as whether you've located what would appear to be a battery power, essentially, or something that has retained the power, or whether it is just the unique resilience of this design to retain power for a time. But it seems to be very efficiently holding all of the stored power that you've given it.
Okay, just make sure the boss knows that it does appear to be retaining the power we've given it. That's a pretty nifty trick.
That's never, from my experience, that's never a good sign. But keep a close eye on it. Keep it as secure. Keep it as secure as possible.
I'll have engineering and security keep an eye on it.
And even if it's not emitting anything that we're aware of at the current moment, make sure that you rotate whoever's monitoring it quite frequently.
Got it. Jim, you heard all those precautions. We'll take those and even a few extra, right?
Very well. All right, so yeah, as you begin to move it about and get to securing it, I think we will cap off tonight with one other final scene here, and we'll set this somewhat later in the day, after a long day supervising both those security precautions, taking a shift on the bridge, and otherwise resting on her laurels for a successful soccer match. We go to the apocryphal version of Shira's quarters, because I've only just recently been able to get quarters back in here, and everyone will need to properly pick theirs at some point, but we'll worry about that later.
Ooh, basin.
I hoped you would like it. Anyway, yeah, so we are following Shira here, the day winding down, and very little else going on at this point for you. It has been a day free of any of the direct conflict that are no signs of battle as you would expect. And of course, in the distance, looms a far greater conflict that you are quite far from at this time. And perhaps it isn't the first thing on your mind when you make your way into your quarters and start winding down on the day, but there is, however, a chime on the ship's computer, like on the ship's intercom.
I'll answer it.
Lieutenant Shira, this is the bridge.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, sir. I didn't want to interrupt you at a late hour, but well, sir, I believe I have comms from the I believe that we have Imperial Guard command on an encrypted channel.
Put it through now to my quarters.
Yes, sir. Standing by. The encryption protocols are just a little complex here.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, Shira, you are either still fully in your Earth jumpsuit, or you may have just been in the process of kind of getting things off, as it were.
It's properly unzipped.
Okay. Any last moment corrections that you would want to make before?
Quickly take it off entirely.
Switch over to the at least the guard top, or
yeah. Quickly just try to half pull that on.
Very well, very well. So, with a few moments, you manage to get the top relatively straight, and you go through a few confirmations on the screen there to confirm that the line is in fact secure, going through routine protocols. And on the screen, as you await eagerly, you feel something begin to sink in the pit of your stomach as a familiar face shows up on the screen. Check the Discord there, Craig.
Okay. She'll noticeably stiffen a bit, and her antennas will curl.
Lieutenant, good to see that you've deigned at least to retain proper uniform.
Sir?
Mission report, what is your current status?
Current status, still liaising with Starfleet. They have the Aegis currently out on patrol duty near Tellarite space.
Good. Well, then I trust you will serve your duty into an Earth station at least to some distinction. They
Yes, sir.
they sent us compliments on your conduct after the recent mission, so I suppose at least someone is willing to commend you.
Oh, so, sir.
Yes. Well, I hope you enjoy that Earth ship. That lap of comfort. She'll be there for some time still.
It's a good ship. And a
Yes.
fine crew.
Perhaps you should consider more Earth service as a long-term career.
Temporary stop, sir.
Oh, do you envision going somewhere else?
Plenty of places in the Empire, sir.
Oh, no, I don't think that'll be happening anytime soon. I'm sure you would love to be at the helm of a battle cruiser, or perhaps in a bigger chair than that. But it takes a special sort of quality for a truly good and honorable Imperial Guard officer to man that station. And there are plenty more deserving.
How is your son doing, sir?
There is a beat during which his brow furrows noticeably. He is at least now in more of a fit state to serve, and well, perhaps he will he will do his duty in the service of the line wherever that comes.
Glad I could help him get into that shape.
Oh, after what you pulled, he was very nearly left incapable of doing so. But that's beside the point, for you have injured the guard far worse than that. All that time on that Earth ship, and all that time nearing a system you knew to be restricted, and you never thought to relay any word to the High Command?
I thought about it plenty of times. There was no opportunity to do so.
Oh, a serious guard officer would have found a way. If you had, then perhaps the 37 crew members that one of our cruisers lost might still be alive and able to serve in this dreadful conflict the Vulcans have picked. They at least did more their duty than you, laying down their lives in defense of the Empire's strategic interests. They died.
I kept the Empire's strategic interests in mind throughout.
Well, it may have been top of mind, but what can you show for it? What can you say you have done? Weighed against the people whose lives command seizes on your head.
When the humans and the Tellarites started talking, they were going to tell exactly what we had done. And that means the Tellarites would have found a very good reason to send a fleet in our direction at the exact same time the damn Vulcans were attacking.
You regain
so we'll be facing in 2 fleets and not 1.
You keep your composure, Lieutenant. You are speaking to a general of the guard.
I know who I'm speaking to, sir.
You may have averted some mess with the Tellarites, but if they were truly going to strike, that they would have undoubtedly made their intentions clear or pressed on forward, same as the Vulcans. The only measure of what we know for sure is that lives were lost, and while some assets are properly secure, the fact is that you have failed to safeguard those interests. That is how I see it, and that is how I will continue to make sure Command sees it. This war will be a hard one, but we will prevail for the honor of all guardsmen that lay down their lives to fulfill it. You won't see that. You can spend out the rest of your days, for all I care, on a nice warm ship, dealing with what is comfortable for the Earthers, but you can feel that constant oppressive heat as a reminder of why you were there in the first place and why you deserve to stay. As long as I can see to that, it shall be.
Is
Well,
that all, sir?
for now. We still expect you to do your basic duty and relay intermittent reports. If you have updates with regard to any intelligence on the Vulcans, then, well, perhaps you may still have some utility yet. Otherwise, until this war finishes, you're expected to comport yourself as a exemplary officer of the guard. See if these Earthers were not off their mark, but when it ends, rest assured, there will be a reckoning for your deeds.
I look forward to it.
General Shilk will gaze directly into your eyes, his antennae curled aggressively. He won't deign further words, will instead just pound at the table with his fist as he cuts the communications line. You are left alone.
Bastard!
You are left alone in your quarters. Nothing but the dull hum of the ship's engines and other subsystems.
Andorian politics, man.
Yep. With the slight curse under your breath there, I think that is as good a point as any to leave off for the night. So, I think that we will come back tomorrow with, or not tomorrow. We are going to cut off here for those in the recording. No, surprise session at Reverse April Fools. No. I have to build a clock tomorrow. Anyway. This is where we are going to cut off for this week. So for those in the recording, we hope you enjoyed, and I will say in advance, apologies that the next video is going to be a little bit more delayed. We are taking off for this stream for the next week, so we will not be doing a live episode until the 22nd of this month. That'll be 2 weeks from the day this is being recorded, or very likely just under that, since this usually makes it to YouTube by Mondays. We hope you enjoy, though, and that you've been enjoying this, and we will say goodbye here. So you have a good rest of your day.